Establishing policies and procedures, why it matters and how to do it right. Every organization, regardless of its size or industry, needs policies and procedures in place to ensure smooth operations. Policies and procedures define how things should be done within an organization and help to create a consistent and efficient work environment. In this video, we will discuss the importance of establishing policies and procedures, what they should cover, and how to create effective ones. Why establishing policies and procedures matters. Policies and procedures provide a framework for how things are done within an organization. They outline the company's values and expectations for its employees and set standards for their behavior. Having policies and procedures in place helps to ensure that everyone is on the same page, working towards the same goals, and adhering to the same rules. Furthermore, policies and procedures can help to avoid misunderstandings and disputes between employees. By providing guidelines for how things should be done, there is less room for confusion or interpretation. When there is a clear policy in place, everyone knows what is expected of them and what the consequences of non-compliance are. Policies and procedures also provide a basis for performance evaluations and promotions. By having clear guidelines for how employees should behave and what is expected of them, managers can evaluate their performance against these standards. This provides employees with a clear understanding of what they need to do to succeed in their roles and progress within the organization. What policies and procedures should cover? The specific policies and procedures that an organization should have will vary depending on its size, industry, and the regulatory environment in which it operates. However, there are several key areas that most organizations should consider covering. Employee conduct. This policy should cover topics such as expected behavior, dress codes, and any disciplinary procedures that will be enforced. It should also outline the company's values and expectations for its employees. Human resources. This policy should cover topics such as hiring practices, compensation, and benefits. It should also outline the company's policies on discrimination, harassment, and other employee-related issues. Information technology. This policy should cover policies for computer and network use, as well as guidelines for data security and privacy. It should outline what is allowed and what is not allowed on company-owned devices and networks. Finance. This policy should cover topics such as accounting procedures, expense reporting, and financial controls. It should also outline the company's policies for managing financial risks. Safety and security. This policy should include guidelines for workplace safety, emergency preparedness, and security procedures. It should outline what employees should do in the event of an emergency and what security measures are in place to protect the company's assets. How to create effective policies and procedures. Creating effective policies and procedures can be a complex process, but there are some best practices that can help. Involve your team. When creating policies and procedures, it's important to solicit input from employees in different departments. This will ensure that policies and procedures are relevant and practical. Be clear and concise. Use clear, straightforward language to ensure that policies and procedures are easily understood. Avoid using jargon or technical terms that may be confusing. Establish a review process. Regularly review policies and procedures to ensure they remain relevant and up to date. As your organization grows and changes, your policies and procedures will need to be updated to reflect these changes. Communicate effectively. Ensure that policies and procedures are communicated clearly to all employees. Consider providing training or other resources to help employees understand the policies and procedures. Seek expert guidance. It can be helpful to work with an experienced consultant or legal professional who can provide guidance and support throughout the process of establishing policies and procedures. In conclusion, establishing clear and effective policies and procedures is essential for any organization. By taking the time to develop comprehensive guidelines for employee conduct, human resources, finance and safety, and security, you can create a framework for how your organization operates. This framework will help ensure that your team is working towards common goals and operating in a consistent and efficient manner. By following best practices and seeking expert guidance, you can create policies and procedures that will benefit your organization for years to come. When establishing policies and procedures, it's important to keep in mind that they are living documents that should be regularly reviewed and updated as needed. As your organization grows and changes, your policies and procedures will need to evolve to reflect these changes. Regularly reviewing and updating your policies and procedures will help ensure that they remain relevant and effective. In addition, it's important to ensure that your policies and procedures are communicated effectively to all employees. This can include providing training or other resources to help employees understand the policies and procedures. Clear communication of policies and procedures is crucial to ensure that everyone is aware of the expectations and consequences of non-compliance. Overall, establishing policies and procedures is a critical aspect of organizational management. They provide a framework for how things are done and help ensure that everyone is working towards common goals. By taking the time to develop comprehensive policies and procedures, and by regularly reviewing and updating them, you can create a more efficient, productive, and safe workplace.